Hi guys, so today we're going to be making these 3 lunch lady tumblers. I'm going to take you from the very beginning. Here I started with my colors, and everything had been prepped already, and I am using my epoxy. I did 5 millimeters of epoxy, but I only used about 2 millimeters on each one of my tumblers. You want to put it on really, really thin, because the thicker you put it on, sometimes it has this like watery look. So you want to make sure it's very thin. Please excuse my voice. I am suffering with a cold right now, so it sounds like I have a frog in my throat. So I've sped this up so you can see most of my steps and it won't take too long. I'm getting ready to put my glitter on. I get my glitters from Glitter Chimp. They make beautiful glitters, and you can see them online for any of these glitters that I used. Right now I am going over the line where I colored, because I want it to kind of have a halo effect when I get ready to put it together. And I am tapping off the excess glitter. I'm going to do this several times using my 2 different color glitters, only because I want to get the right effect, and I want to make sure everything is covered, and I want to make sure that it kind of melts into each other and doesn't have that harsh line effect. Now I'm putting on a glitter called Fog. It is a beautiful white glitter, and if you need a really pretty white glitter, you'll see when this comes on the sparkle that it has. I love this color, and I use it quite often with a lot of my tumblers that I do. I'm just turning it to make sure that it is completely covered. Now, if you want to know what I'm holding to turn this with, I get a lot of things from the Dollar Tree, and this is just a paper towel holder from the Dollar Tree, and I put a foam noodle on it, and then over the foam noodle in the inside, I covered it with a little bit of electrical tape to hold it on, and it does a great job when I am trying to stand it up, when I am trying to spray paint. It holds it very, very well. So if you want a cheap way to go, that's a cheap way to go. Now I'm going to go over this again with the orange, simply because I want it to shadow in, and then I'll tap it off to get off the excess again. So guys, you're going to see me go through this process on all 3 of the, on 2 of the tumblers that I make, but I did the same process on all of them. It's just that I wanted each tumbler to have a little bit of difference. Even though the wording was the same, their names were different, but I wanted them to be a little bit different. Okay, now because the orange glitter is a heavier glitter, and it's chunkier glitter, I am wrapping this in wax paper. This is the way I get mine to lay down flat, so that it doesn't take as much epoxy to cover it when I get ready to epoxy it. I used, again, wax paper that comes in the box from the Dollar Tree, and it comes in a sheet, and I just tear the sheet in half. Now I'm working on the red and white tumbler, and you will see me go through the same process that I went through with the orange and white tumbler, And I love this red color, the red chunky glitter. You'll see the process is the same. I'm putting on less than 2 millimeters of epoxy, trying to get it on really, really thin. And I'm covering the entire tumbler to make sure that every little bit is covered so that all of my glitter goes on evenly. And I do apologize if some of this is out of camera focus. I did not realize that I had it zoomed in so much when I was making this, but I do promise you that my camera skills will get better as we go along. So please just bear with me with this. So the red glitter I am using, I believe, is Little Red Corvette. And it is also from Glitter Chimp. And I am putting it on the bottom. Now I'm trying to put it on relatively evenly around because I don't want the shadow on this one. I'm just going to have it, the glitter down at the bottom, and then I'm going to tap it off, and then you'll see me putting on the white fog again. And this glitter is chunky also, so I want to make sure that I get everything covered so that I don't have any little spots that I have to come back and redo. So here again, I'm putting on the fog. It is just so pretty, that white, that shine, that glitter against that red. It is really pretty, guys. I wish you could see it in person. So once again, I'm getting ready to wrap this in my wax paper. I'm just gonna roll it very quickly, fold the ends over, pat it down to make sure that all of that chunky glitter lays down flat. Now, the flatter you can get your chunky glitter to lay down, the less epoxy you'll have to put on it to cover up some of those spots. Now, you may have to do 2 coats of your epoxy and then clip off anything that sticks off above that or sand it down. But if you roll it in the wax paper, it will help it to lay flat. You don't see me rolling the white in the wax paper, and that's because it's not a chunky glitter. It's gonna lay flat regardless. So now, guys, I'm getting ready to put my first coat of epoxy on. This is a 24-ounce cup, so I mixed up about 30 ounces of epoxy to put on here. And I did make one little mistake here. I forgot to spray my cup with Rust-Oleum Clear Seal because I did not, so the red wouldn't move. And you'll see that a lot of the red went up into the white, which is not what I wanted. So in the end, before this dried, right after I finished this, I went back with my tweezers and I picked out all of the little red glitter that had gotten up at the top. Now, I will tell you that was time consuming, and if you don't want to have to do that, don't make the same mistake I did, but spray your cup with Rust-Oleum Clear and let it dry, and that will seal the glitter in place so it doesn't move all over the place. Now, I have sanded it down. I put 2 coats on. I have sanded it down, and now I'm getting ready to put my labels on. Now, this is the first label. It is, I cut it out with my Cameo. I do have a Cameo and a Cricut, but I do feel like I have a Cricut Maker, but I do feel like I like my Cameo better because to me it's just easier to work with. Now, this black vinyl that you see me using here, this came from the Dollar Tree also. I found that I like using the Dollar Tree vinyl. It works just as well as the higher price vinyl. And now the only time I use the higher price vinyls is when there's a color that I want to use that I can't find at the Dollar Tree. So that helps me save money also. But this is vinyl that I am putting on right now. Now, also with this, you'll find that you do have to, no matter what vinyl you use, you do have to rub it down really, really good. And sometimes you have to go over it twice because sometimes the letters will pull up. So you just go back over it again with your squeegee and make sure they're down nice and flat. Now, my H did get a little messed up. I'm straightening that out. And everything is going to be just fine. I love that. Lunch ladies love to stir things up. My water slide, and this water slide, it's a regular way you put on the water slide. I wish I had reversed it so that I could put the white over top and just slide it off, but I did not. Now, because I am putting it on the white and not the red, it will show up beautifully on the white. If I had put it on the red, I would have to do a little bit more to it to make it show up on the red. But if you are putting it on white or a light color, it will show up perfectly fine. So I am using my fingers to put a little water on my tumbler. Then I'm going to put my label in some lukewarm water, room temp, and that will loosen it up. And all I have to do then is take it out of the water and slide it on my tumbler. Just be very careful because they will rip easily. So you have to be a little tender with them. So now you'll see me using this little squeegee brush, I guess. It's like a makeup brush. I also got this from the Dollar Tree. Now they sell these online at places that sell things for tumbler making, but they are higher priced than $1.25. If you go to the Dollar Tree, you used to could get them for $1, but now it's $1.25. So you can get it for $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just taking a paper towel to pat out all of the excess water and dry it off. Just be careful when you pat because you don't want to rip that water slide. And you give that a couple of minutes to dry and it will be fine and you can move on to your next step. So now I'm putting on my last label, and that is the name. The only thing you have to worry about here is that you don't have any air bubbles in it, and that's why we use the squeegee to push all of the air bubbles out and make sure that it's nice and flat. So now you see me again with another water slide. This is my little label that just has my company name on it, and it also has the care directions on it. Now, you'll see here I forgot to finish cutting it out before I put it in the water. So before it really slid off, I just trimmed around it so it will be nice and neat. And then again, I used a little bit of water on there, and then I just put the slide on. And you'll see that because I did not color the back of the water slide, the BG does not show up. It's just the whatever is black. And that's what I was telling you. If you put it on a light color, everything will show it up. If you put it on a darker color, the colors won't show up, but black will show up. Now I'm going to put a coat of quick coat on before I use my first epoxy. The quick coat seals the vinyl so nothing comes up. And now I'm moving to my second cup. I'm going through the same process. You're going to see me go through the same process as I went through before with putting the vinyl on, with putting the water slide on. But right now I am going to make this a little different. I am using some washi tape. And I have a lot of washi tape. It comes in a lot of different sizes. So I find that it stays on just as well as vinyl, because some of it is vinyl. So I'm putting this black strip of washi tape on, patting it down, making sure that it's even when I put it together. And then to give it a little bit of a difference, I am going to use some fingernail tape. And this is actually, the fingernail tape is actually tape that nail salons use when they decorate your fingernails. And it comes in a variety of colors, a variety of sizes. And I find that this saves my vinyl. I don't have to cut it up in little strips unless I want something really, really wide. Sometimes I just have to lean over so I can actually see what I'm doing. And now, guys, I'm just going to go through the same process that I did before, putting my labels on, putting my water slide on, making sure everything is as close to perfect as I can get it. Now, this time you'll see me putting my name in the front just to make it each cup a little different. Plus, I felt like the cup wasn't as crowded as it was before when I tried to put everything around the cup. And I just like this, and it just gave it each cup their own personality, even though they're going to the same lunch ladies and they have the same design on them, on all three of them. Each lady will feel like I did a little something different just for them on their cup.